And hello, Irfan bhai.
Hi Jalal bhai, how are you?
How are you? Thank you so much. Why don't we hear from you first?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Hi everyone. This is one of my favorite songs. I hope you enjoy it.
There we go.
14वीं का चांद हो या आफताब हो. This is a simple acoustic version. Mohammed Rafi is the original artist, of course. 14वीं का चांद हो या आफताब हो, जो भी हो तुम खुदा की कसम लाजवाब हो. 14वीं का चांद हो. जुल्फे हैं जैसे कांधे पे बादल झुके हुए, आंखें हैं जैसे मैं के प्याले भरे हुए, मस्ती है जिसमें प्यार की तुम वो शराब हो. 14वीं का चांद हो या आफताब हो. हाँ चेहरा. I think that's good enough for now.
It's a good thriller, and people will be loving it. I know. I think they will love it. So now, so of course, we're going to start talking very soon. But let me get to your other band members as well. Now we'll go to Moiz Lalani, our good friend in New York.
Yeah, Jalal bhai.
How are you, Moiz?
Shukr, I'm doing well.
All right. Why don't we hear from you first?
Absolutely.
There we go. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Moiz. Yeah, mashallah. So you play drum as well as you play keyboard.
So I play drum as my main instrument. I've actually been playing the keyboard as of late. For the last couple of years, I started playing, so I'm still fairly new to the keyboard.
Okay, that's good. No, I think you are doing a fabulous job, and I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, now the last member of your band, for your band, it's Hassan Rajani.
Hey Jalal bhai, thank you for having us. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for joining me. I think your favorite
Oh, sorry. Let me do that. Are you hearing echo?
Yes, like our voice.
Okay, how about now? Better.
It's good. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, why don't we hear something from you?
Yeah, sure. So Jalal, I would be curious to know if your audience knows this song. So if they know, please let us know in the comment section. That would be great.
You know what? I don't know. I'm sorry. I really, I'll be honest with you. Guys, do you know what did he just play? Anyone knows? What kind of, what was the music? Which movie, which song? Well, we'll hear in the comment section for sure. I know people are always do reply. So again, guys, welcome to Fitoor band or band Fitoor, Irfan, Moiz, and Hassan. What a great group of musicians, singers, instrumentalists, whatever you want to say, but just great. Before we go on, because I think a lot of people have noticed, there is no woman power in your band. Is it? So was it a personal choice, or is it kind of a scary part for you guys? I'll start with you, Irfan.
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I missed that part.
Yeah. I think of course, I have noticed that the other people noticed as well. There is a woman in the group. Is there that's for the personal reason, or there is other reason, the one we don't know yet?
It's definitely that was not intentional. It's just that the three of us happen to be friends from New York, and we just love music, and we all play instruments, and we were performing for a while. So like, why not put a formal name to what we do? And so there's definitely no gender bias in what we have come up with.
I'm actually going to add to that. There is a lot of women power in our group. They just work in the background. So we do get a lot of help from women.
That's correct.
Yes.
Irfan, I just saved you getting a divorce tonight, all right?
Yeah, you know what? Because of course, even me, I do the show, but there is so much at my place goes as well for so I can do the show here. Of course, it's from my wife and daughter. They'll be helping me behind the scene. But anyway, so welcome again, guys. It's a really honor for me to have you. And Moiz was on my show, I think last year sometime when it was a Team Alam song came. And the Irfan joined, I think, for a very short time through the Suhana Safar show. But that's the first time for Hassan. So why don't we start, with the introduction, each one of you, because I think a lot of people, they don't know you, when did you start? Just kind of intro, then we can move on with our show. So Irfan, I'll start with you. If you can tell us about yourself, please.
Of course. Well, firstly, again, thank you so much for having us here. I think it's a great platform. We have been following your work for a while, so it feels great to be finally on this show. And my name is Irfan. I'm from Pakistan originally. And to be more specific, I was born and raised in Gilgit. My family comes from Hunza. I have been, so Urdu, which is like the language I sing most of the songs that I do in, is not even my first language. It's my more like third language. But yeah, so I have been doing this work, like music, formally, informally, for almost 12, 13 years at this point. I had a band. Prior to moving to the US, I lived in the UK for a bit, and I had a band there, and that's where I think it started more formally, and we did quite a few concerts for members of the Smiley community in the UK. And then since then, since I moved to the US, I was doing work mostly as a solo artist with collaborations here and there with artists like Moiz, who is on the call. And then this is something I enjoy doing. I think at this point, it's no longer a hobby because I've been spending too much time doing it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. What about you, Moiz?
So from my musical journey, I'm actually originally from India. I moved here when I was very, very young. So I started playing the drums when I was in middle school. And I played all throughout high school. I actually went to a specialized music school as well. And after high school, when I got into college, I actually completely dropped music altogether. And one year, I was on a drive with one of my partners, and I was just banging all over the car, the steering wheel, the gear shift. And my partner's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I used to play the drums, this and that." And one thing led to the other, and he's like, "Oh, you know what? New York headquarters band is looking for a drummer." And I was like, "Oh, sure." So then I ended up joining the New York headquarters band, and that's when I started to get a little bit serious. I brought my drum sets again, and started investing in equipment. And then aside from the Garba band, I ran into Irfan after a New Year's performance he did. This was the first time, and he actually performed with one of our New York headquarters bandmates. And I thought he did a fantastic job. And, Irfan and I, as he mentioned, started collaborating here and there. And then I think like 2 New Years later, Hassan joined us. So every New Year, I guess, has been something special for us, where we end up doing something, amazing and good performances. And because of those performances, we end up, taking the next step in our musical journey.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, really good. Thank you. And Hassan, yes, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, Jalal, but firstly, thank you for having us. It's an honor to be here. So thank you so much. My name is Hassan Rajani. For those that don't know me, I'm originally from New York, but I'm living in LA for the next couple of months and enjoying the LA weather for sure. My musical journey has been a bit different. So I did not have any musical background growing up. I'm originally from India as well. So what has happened was, Irfan Sheen is one of the folks that I looked up to in terms of an established musician, where he's performed in different venues and different Jamaat Khanas, and he's also performed in Jubilee Arts with Moiz. So, seeing musicians like that, I've picked up the guitar only 2 years ago. So then, Irfan and Moiz have been guiding me, have been role models for me. And ever since then, to be in a band with them, to perform with them for different Jamaat Khanas and for different venues and for virtual events, it's just been a pleasure. So I look forward to playing more with them.
Yeah, no, I think this is really good. I can see, I think all 3 of you had kind of, from the childhood, like you were in the music family. But, were you guys in a music family at all? Like in your family, Irfan, anyone, Moiz?
I mean, I would say my family, because like my sister sings, my brother is a musician. I have a few other family members, my cousins, one of my uncles, they are musicians. But again, none of us are formally trained as such. We do it for fun, and along the way, some of us have picked it up a bit more seriously than others.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay, so why don't we listen to one of your songs, Irfan, and then we'll move on.
Sure. Again, I play especially in these live settings, more mehfil-like, slow, mellow songs. So I hope the audience can bear with us as I'm trying to do that.
Awesome.
This next song is actually, again, one of my favorite ghazals by Mehdi Hassan. दुनिया किसी के प्यार में जन्नत से कम नहीं, दुनिया किसी के प्यार में जन्नत से कम नहीं, एक दिलरुबा है दिल में जो हूरों से कम नहीं, दुनिया किसी के प्यार में। तुम बादशाह हुस्न हो, हुस्ने जहान हो, तुम बादशाह हुस्न हो, हुस्ने जहान हो, जाने वफा हो और मोहब्बत की शान हो, जाने वफा और मोहब्बत की शान हो, जलवे तुम्हारे हुस्न के तारों से कम नहीं, दुनिया किसी के प्यार में जन्नत से कम नहीं।
Wow, beautiful, Irfan. I haven't heard this ghazal for a while now. Wow, mashallah. So you are a big fan of Mehdi Hassan, sir?
I am, yes, yeah, and I can even sing a few more songs if that's what your audience is interested in.
Yeah,
That's definitely one
yeah,
of
of
my
course.
favorite genres. Yeah, yeah.
Is that right? Eh? Wow. So, Moiz, when you were growing up, so were you following like any kind of music, or just pop, or kind of disco, or like in classical music? What was your?
So not so much. I actually wasn't a huge music fan like that. I did love the drums, as a child, but I was never a huge like a fan of a specific genre or anything. But I got into Bollywood music and Garba music because of Headquarters Band. And when Fitoor came along, that's when I started to fall in love with the type of music that Irfan currently played, all these ghazals and Sufi songs and qawwalis and Sufi pop, which is one of our big fortes that we've been doing lately. But I've never been like a specific music lover of a certain genre or anything of that nature when I was growing up. No.
Okay, okay. So, somebody do you sing, or you just play music, or what kind of instrument do you play?
Yeah, so I play rhythm guitar, and that has been my forte, and that is an instrument that I've picked up from the jump. I'm not a singer per se, but seeing Irfan sing, and when you play an instrument, you kind of get closer to music. So you start learning things as matching scale, identifying keys, the songs that I've played in. So definitely would not call myself a singer, but trying to get there slowly and steadily with the band's help and with the guitar on my side.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you play any other instrument, or just like a guitar, rhythm guitar?
Yeah, so I can play rhythm guitar, and I've dabbled with electric guitar a little bit. But my forte,
Oh,
because the type of music that we play, it's slow, Sufi, devotional, ghazal music. The rhythm guitar is what pulls me the closest.
yeah, yeah. Nice, nice, nice. So, Irfan, do you remember when did you start singing?
When I started
Was it,
singing,
yeah, was it school days, college days?
yes, so this was, growing up because as I mentioned, my sister used to sing. I grew up in Pakistan, so in school you sing a lot of like patriotic songs growing up, and then you sing naats and you also do recitations of the Holy Quran and stuff like that. So she used to do that, and I always looked up to her. So until I was
Yeah.
in like high school, I knew I could sing, but I didn't have the confidence to really go up to the stage. And and one of my teachers, I think I attribute a lot of what I'm doing now to him, that he somehow like, because he saw like folks in my family do that, he was like, oh, I'm sure he can sing. So he kind of like encouraged me to start participating in these competitions at school, and I did once,
Yeah.
and I did
Hmm.
well on there, and I think that's what boosted my confidence. So I think it is, if I were to put like a timeline to it, that would be like my high school days. Yeah.
Okay, nice, nice, nice. So, yeah, what about you, Moise? When did you start?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, when did you start? Like you're playing drums. You remember that? Was it
So
your
yeah, so like I mentioned, I started playing in middle school. I played all throughout middle school, but in school they generally start you off with one drum, so it's not like I'm playing the whole entire drum set. So a lot of my journey has also been a self-taught type of a situation. So in school, obviously, you learn a little bit of music theory. You learn how to read music. They give you one drum, whether it's a snare drum or a big bass drum or something like that to play. I didn't really touch a drum set until I want to say late high school. And even
Mhm.
then, you have about 8 or 10 drummers and the one drum set. So it's not like something where you would play every single day. When I really, really started to play the drums and really get serious about it was afterwards when I joined the Headquarters Band. I bought the drum set. I started practicing at home. And then, even at that point, I felt very limited because all I was doing was playing Garba music. So if you told me to wake up in the middle,
Okay, I think you mute yourself. Yeah.
sorry. So if you asked me 3 a.m. to just start playing Garba music, I'd be able to play Garba music, no problem. But when I started to perform with Irfan and Hassan, and we started doing all these other types of music, I struggled a lot. And for those that watched our latest New Year's performance, one of the challenges that I made to myself was to try to do something different every single song. So Irfan, really helped me a lot in that sense because he would come up with ideas of how he wanted the music to sound. He would come up with a certain drum loop, forward it to me. I would listen to that, and I would try to implement that. And a little bit more on top of that. So, that was something that I still, constantly try to do to try to improve my skills around the drum set and playing various types of beats and stuff.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So, Hassan, since the pandemic, everyone is online, whether YouTube or Facebook, Instagram, people are doing their personal Facebook Live, or they're coming as a group. So then what did you do for yourself during the pandemic as a musician?
Yeah, so there was an opportunity to just continue learning, right? So I have been a very young musician per se. I've only been learning guitar for the past 2 years, and the pandemic just helped me zone in on my skills and spend some more time towards it, right? So holistically, as a band, we were actually getting a lot of requests to perform in outdoor venues. When the pandemic hit, we had two options, right? What do we do? Do we say, we'll just wait, and when the pandemic is over, we'll go back and perform again? Or do we learn the tools and skill set to perform virtually? So I think the pandemic has helped us kind of zone our skills and, increase our skill set. So as, for example, now, there are more songs that I can play because I've spent more time on it, right? And we've explored different genres. So I think the pandemic has helped us take a step back, and me personally also take a step back, zone in, and really kind of get to the basics of what we need to do to thrive in a virtual environment or in a on-prem environment.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. What about you, Irfan? Because what did you do during the pandemic?
I think this pandemic, it has been a rather unique year for artists like ourselves, and especially for us, because we formed the band just a few months before the pandemic started. So just when we were picking up one of our major shows, it was a Sufi night, not for our community, but like a wider New York, Pakistani, South Asian community, I would say, that we had planned. And there were so many people who were going to show up for that one, and it had to be canceled, which was a major setback for the band. So then we really had to think about what can we do virtually to keep this going, especially considering I was going to move to Texas and we were no longer going to be in the same city. So so we really started looking into how to do these virtual collabs. And the first collaboration on that was an original song, which was also a milestone for the band, because again, that was our first original song together. And I think that song kind of brought us together in a way that was rather not seen by either of us before, none of us before. So I think in that sense, that song and the reception it received gave us a lot of confidence to keep going. Yeah.
Nice. No, I think that's good. Moiz, can we listen to you for one of your tunes from you? Is that possible?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I know we've been doing some slow songs, and Irfan got us in the mood. So I'm gonna pick up the tempo a little bit, and I'll get hopefully your audience members to dance around a bit.
Let's dance, guys. I think we'll be. Awesome. Thank you, Moiz. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
No problem.
Remind me the Khushali. Right. So, Hassan, when you hear like our traditional geek, like the one just Moiz just play, gives you goosebumps, isn't it?
It definitely does, and for the folks that know me, I love to play garba and dandiya and ras. So it's very hard to get me down in my seat once this music starts playing. So this is an amazing track that Moiz played.
Nice. Yeah, Irfan, just to give you a heads up, we got a couple of requests here. Ranjishi Sahi from Mehdi Hassan Saab, and there is Gulo Mein Rang Bare. So just to give you a heads up, if you can, that'll be great. Irfan, you guys were part of the Jubilee Arts as well. I think Moiz just mentioned. How was that experience?
I think that experience, again, is one of the reasons why we are together as a band as well. And even though Hassan wasn't part of it, but I think the momentum that picked up from there. And then as Hassan mentioned, when you see folks in your community doing this stuff together, that also motivates you. And I think since then, all of us have been collaborating. So I think Jubilee Arts was a key moment for us as artists. And, it was not just artistically fulfilling, but also it was celebratory. Like we went from regional to more the country round that was in LA. And even though we couldn't make it to Portugal, but I think overall the experience was amazing, and we met with artists who I'm still in touch with, and I think that was amazing. Yeah.
And I think if I'm not mistaken, that was the absolute first time that we've ever performed together, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, yeah, definitely. I think we had collaborated more in a jam room environment before. But we hadn't really, it was just the first time us doing it on the stage was for Jubilee Arts, yes.
Yeah. So there is a Shah Salim watching. He said, I'm from Hunza as well, from Irfan's village, Nasirabad. There we go.
That's awesome. Yeah, Nasirabad is the village. The traditional name is Hini. So that's where I'm from. So hi, Salim. It's so nice to see you.
So Moiz, you from Karachi too? You are from Pakistan?
No, I'm actually from Hyderabad, India.
Oh, okay. So Hassan is from India too.
Yeah.
So what do you remember about Hyderabad? Do you remember anything or?
So.
Oh, you mute yourself.
I don't know why it keeps on going on mute, but no. So as far as India is concerned, I remember vaguely from my childhood days, not so much because I was still pretty young when I got here, but I did get an opportunity to go back a couple of years ago and revisit India and go to all those places that I vaguely remembered as a child, and now I was able to explore it a little bit more when I got there.
Yeah. And where are you from, Hassan, in India?
Yeah, I'm from Bombay, India. So when I moved from India to New York, I don't miss Bombay as much because it's a very similar environment. The busy street, the chai and chaats on the street. It's the same environment, but yeah, I mean, there's no place like home, right?
Yeah. So
Hassan, there's no chai here. It's coffee. Okay, it's coffee with Jalal.
Coffee with Jalal.
And the coffee K. It starts with K. It's not C either.
Yeah, that's correct.
So India, of course, in Bombay, it's like a main girl of everything. Especially music industry. So tell us about it, please.
Yeah, it is a main hub. There's a lot of opportunities there, and if you have artists, musicians, talented folks that don't live in India, they don't live in Bombay and Delhi. That's where they come to, because that's where the music scene is, that's where the cinema scene is, and that's a land of opportunities, right? So I've seen a lot of people come into Bombay and Delhi and try to pursue their music careers, and that's really a hub, as you said, for a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. And I'll start with you, Irfan. Do you believe in kind of reality shows, the one we see like Indian Idols or Moiz, the one we see on Sony TV on India? Do you believe in those? Do you follow those?
I don't follow them, but I do have a lot of respect for folks who are classically trained, who have dedicated their lives to learning music. So I definitely I'm on with them on that. except I am not necessarily like a huge fan of commercialization of music and a competition in music in that sense. So, for one person to be the idol and the rest not to be that way, I think I don't necessarily agree with that. But I think overall, the fact that there's so many when I hear some of the singers who show up on those shows, and when I compare my vocal skills to them, I'm like, oh my God, so that serves as a motivation at times. And I have a lot of respect definitely for those who are classically trained.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys seen that or no, because we actually, we started Future Superstars, a small youth artist. We did already 2 shows now. Third one is coming end of February, and so you see a lot of it's about 12, 13 years of kids, and they already have the YouTube channel, Facebook page, and everything. They are on the run already. So Moiz, do you believe what do you believe? Do you believe in a race, or do you believe in a marathon? Okay, slow, step by step, you have to move forward. What do you think?
I believe in a marathon. I think, a race is, I don't believe anyone, well, listen, yourself, right? You don't say, oh, I'm going to listen to the best artist that's been, the winner of Indian Idol or whatever idol shows that there are, right? You follow a lot of the ones that actually didn't make it to the finals. And a lot of the ones that don't make it to the finals are the ones that actually end up getting records and, songs and stuff like that. So I don't believe in a race. I think it is a marathon. I think if you love it, you have a passion for it, you stick with it, and, you stick to your genre and keep doing what you do, and eventually opportunity will present itself. But definitely not a race.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and Hassan, all these kids, because we tell them, you have to follow your dreams and you have to practice as much you can.
Yes.
Do you believe on that?
Yeah, absolutely, Jalal. And I think, and I've seen some of your superstar shows, and they're amazing. Our family watches together. We share as much as we can. So it's really great to see that you're, zoning on these kids to and giving them a platform to show their talent. Sometimes the platform is what's missing, right? You can have all the talent in the world, but sometimes you just need a platform to come out and shine. So to that, I really commend you for that. In terms of your question, I totally agree, Jalal, because I think what happens is, sometimes the illusion may seem that the trajectory of music or learning an instrument is this way, right? It just goes up as a rocket. But sometimes it's a plateau, and it takes practice and dedication for you to move up. So it's very important that people understand, what the goal is, and they really zone in and focus on what their artistic skills are.
Yeah, true. Very true. Very true. Irfan, ho gaya koi ghazal, please? Media Hassan Saab ki.
I would thumbs up the Gulo Mein Rang, because someone suggested that. I would double down on that. That's okay.
Yeah, I think that was one of the songs we wanted to do for that Sufi night we had planned. Yeah, it's not necessarily a Sufi song in that sense, but yeah, I can give it a try. It's been a while since I did this song, so bear with me. قفص उदास है यारो सबा से कुछ तो कहो कहीं तो बहर खुदा आज जिक्र यार चले भी आओ के गुलशन का कारोबार चले गुलों में रंग भरे बादलों बहार चले जो हम पे गुजरी सो गुजरी जो हम पे गुजरी वो गुजरी जो हम पे गुजरी सो गुजरी मगर जो हम पे गुजरी सो गुजरी मगर शबे हिजरा हमारे अश्क तेरी आक़िबत सवार चले चले भी आओ के गुलशन का कारोबार चले गुलों में रंग भरे बादलों बाहर चले.
क्या बात है यार, माशाल्लाह, wow. Your voice is so soothing, yeah. Seriously. First time I'm like, listening, as much as, with my concentration. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks. This is one of the most difficult songs that I even attempt to do. So my apologies for any mistakes I may have made. Yeah.
So do you prefer ghazals, Irfan?
I do. So I listen to a wide variety of songs, including even Western songs, but I prefer singing songs that sound good in my voice. So I prefer singing more like, I would say like mellow, slow acoustic songs. Even though like, I think I would say both of these guys have been pushing me to explore like avenues that I haven't in the past. And that's been, I guess, fairly successful. But I think I still believe that primarily my voice sounds better in more mellow songs. Yeah.
Yes. So Moiz, like of course, like I think you guys probably motivate each other, like Irfan just said, no, you can do this, same as Hassan, he can do extra this and that. So what are the commons, what are the common, you can say, motivation for you guys?
So I think, definitely love for the songs that, Irfan just performed, right? So we do have a common genre that we all like, and we try to play those type of songs. But then, obviously, I have certain preferences. Me being a drummer, I like to play fast, upbeat songs. Hassan being a rhythm guitar, he doesn't want to just sit there picking at the strings. He wants to actually play the rhythm. So this was the first time that we challenged Irfan for, I believe it was Suhana Safar, if I'm not mistaken, and we finally got him to do "Ae Mere Dil," and I think it was Gungu, which was out of his comfort zone, because he's very cautious as to the type of music he plays, the lyrics, and what they say, and so that was a huge milestone for us as far as getting out of our comfort zone. And same thing, right? Irfan challenged me, like I mentioned during New Year's, to do something different as far as the drums are concerned, and he wanted more variation from me. And then just after the New Year's performance, we got on a call with us three, and then now we had a new challenge for Hassan, where we're just like, hey Hassan, now we need you to do more leads and get into the electric guitar, which is why Hassan mentioned that he's been dabbling with it a little bit. So we always constantly keep communicating with each other and saying, hey, this is what we want from you, and this is what's going to take us to the next level, and it's good that we have that communication and we push each other.
Yeah, and I think, because I think I just played that song like before you guys joined me, that Gunguru song. I think it was fabulous. Yeah, because I can see it was a fast music, and Irfan was just amazing with that too. So Hassan, when you listen to Moiz, when you listen to Irfan, do you listen to them at all?
No, not at all. I don't know what sound he has. No, definitely. I mean, so Irfan was one of the reasons why I picked up the guitar in the first place, right? He is one of the artists that I listen to a lot, even before I even spoke a word with him, right? So because Irfan has been performing for a long time, so I'm a fan first and band member second, I would say.
I think I want to stop because he's being really humble. Like, I must say though, like in this 10-12 years I've been doing this, I have tried to mentor a lot of people, and my only success story has been Hassan, if I were to put it that way. So I think he's been really really like for someone to be able to do so much in just 2 years is, I think I really want to acknowledge that, and I highly commend him for what he has done in this time. Yeah.
Absolutely, and I think we paid Hassan a little bit too much money to compliment us throughout this interview. Thoda discount le lena tha.
There will be no refunds.
Okay, there is one more request here, again for the Ranjish Hisa. So we'll listen to that from Irfan for sure. This is Samita, one of our good friends from Edmonton. She's a singer as well. She was on the show a couple of weeks ago. So thank you, Samita, for watching today. Moiz, ho jaye koi music, because I know we have a little bit of time for you.
Yeah, so I'm going to sign off soon, so I'll just play one last song before I sign off. I'm gonna keep with the mellow mood that Irfan loves.
That sounds good. Awesome. There we go. We'll remove it. There. Thank you, Moiz. Thank you so much. So, I'll ask one question to all of you. When you are stressed out, when you're under pressure, what do you guys do? I'll start with you, Irfan.
Did you start with me? Sorry, I lost you for a second. Was that?
Yeah, when you're under pressure for whatever reason, when you are stressed out, mind is not going anywhere. So many things are going, in your little brain. Then what do you guys do?
I just play a song. I think it's.
I thought so,
yeah. I think this running a band is almost a full-time job too, I would say, and we have run into like situations where just playing music has also stressed us out. So I want to mention that, and I think it's. But then the joy you get at the end of accomplishing something under stress is, I think, it's worth it. It makes it worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to change the question for you a little bit. Like the music has no boundaries. There is no religion. It's a one religion music. That's all. You can connect with other communities anywhere in the world. So how do you connect with other people with your music?
Was that for me? Jalal, sorry, you cut off in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Music has no boundaries, and I think, and what we do is we make all kinds of music too. So we've played music in different languages. We've played music for different artists that don't speak Hindi or Urdu exactly, right? So what we try to do is collaborate, right? I mean, just be united and try to make music with different kinds of platforms, and that actually helps us a lot.
Yeah. And so, Moiz, I'll change the question for you as well, because you were part of the Team Alam when you collaborated with 7 artists. Now here with your 3 artists. So how's your experience? Either you go solo or you like to have the collaboration like this?
So I absolutely love to have collaborations, and I think we're almost halfway to Alam with Hassan moving to California and Irfan moving to Texas. If one person goes out of the country, we are Alam. But we do love having collaborations as well, and then also they both have its own perks, right? So you want to do something in-house, obviously for your own band and your own recognition, but having people to collaborate with is more than anything else a learning experience, right? Because collaborating with 7 different artists, when we did that with Alam, I got to learn a lot from these other artists that were performing with me, and that's priceless. And I know even within Fitoor itself, there was one original song. I think that was the 3rd original song that Irfan had written and composed. That one, Fitoor collaborated with Farah with the sitar. So I think having collaborations is always great, and what it does is it's mutually beneficial for both us and the person that's collaborating, because now both audiences get to enjoy the music that each other is performing.
That's very true, very true. So there is there are some people watching from New York headquarters, and you want to say anything to them? They said, "Hey,
that is Orkane." Yeah, we want to thank them. We want to thank them, because I think they have supported Irfan, Moiz, and I as well, right? So anytime we would have a performance or anytime we would show up in a virtual event, they have been there, they've been present, they've encouraged us, they've challenged us to do multiple songs. So Moiz, I still consider NYHQ as my Jamaat Khana as well. So we want to appreciate them for being here and for supporting.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And like Hassan, there is a person named Rajani is watching. Who's that? Is that probably your?
Take a guess, Jalal, but that's my mother. That's my mother. Thank you for being here.
Just a FYI, she actually is a singer in New York headquarters band and a very good singer as well.
Yeah.
Wow, mashallah.
So Jalal, going back to your earlier question, I don't come from a music family, but I'm trying to create one. So hopefully that works going forward.
Yes, your kids will get benefit of that for sure. You might see your kids laughing, doing something in the music.
Inshallah.
This is great, guys. This is great. And Moiz, if you want to leave, sure, please, by all means. I know you have to get to Jamaat Khana.
Yes. Again, thank you so much, Jalal bhai, for having me on. Thank you for having us on. Good luck to you guys. And I want to thank all the audience members that are watching today's show. Please do follow us and, like our channel. As soon as we're done, hopefully Jalal bhai can send a link out in the comments with our channel. But once again, thank you so much, Jalal bhai, for having us. It was a pleasure.
You're welcome, my friend. Inshallah, we'll see you soon.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Moiz.
All right, so there was our Moiz Lalani from New York. Irfan, we'll start with Ranjish Hisai, if you can.
So it's turning out to be a more like a Mehdi Hassan.
Mehdi Hassan Saab. I know everyone loves Mehdi Hassan Saab.
दिल ही दुखाने के लिए सही फिर से मुझे छोड़ के जाने के लिए सही फिर से मुझे छोड़ के जाने के लिए सही पहले से मरासिम न सही फिर भी कभी तो पहले से मरासिम न सही फिर भी कभी तो रस्मों रहे दुनिया ही निभाने के लिए सही दिल ही दुखाने के लिए कुछ तो मेरे पिंदा मोहब्बत का भरम रख, कुछ तो मेरे पिंदारे मोहब्बत का धर्म रख। तू भी तो कभी मुझको मनाने के लिए सही दिल ही दुखाने के लिए
Wow, maza aa gaya. Wow, mashallah, Irfan. Beautiful. When you are sitting and playing with the guitar, it's a different world, isn't it? You are in a different world. People are enjoying it. People are actually, there's any more requests now. Our good friend Kareem Gilani is watching as well from Edmonton, and Zubeda as well. Fatima Abdullah, she's from Hunza. She asked to sing one of the Gilgit song after. Let's see if you remember any
Yeah,
song.
I'm happy. Yeah, I think I can play one in a bit for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So Hassan, when we are talking like this and people are commenting and appreciating and like whatever you're doing, so how does it feel from inside?
Yeah, it feels very rewarding because playing live in front of a big audience on a big stage is great, and we're very fortunate to be able to do that, and we've done that in the past. But in settings like these where it's unplugged and we can connect with folks and answer their questions, take requests, and and just communicate with them, it's a great feeling. I think there's a space for unplugged and fire table type setting, and I think it's something that I really appreciate.
Yeah. And I think you have more song on your YouTube channel like Irfan, and it's all variety, and I think it's all different songs. So who choose all like who does the selection when you guys are? Is it as a team or is it one person?
I think it is as a team, but of course, like Moiz was mentioning earlier, like we, being a vocalist, being a drummer, being a guitarist, we all have our preferences, our limitations, so we factor all of those in, and in the end, whatever we decide on, it's never like, oh, I want to do something and then Hassan disagrees or Moiz disagrees and we still end up doing it. I think it's really, in the end, we agree on things, but sometimes, like depending on the song, for instance, like there was a song, Tere Ishq Mein. I think that the inspiration for that came from Hassan, right? Like that's a song that I grew up listening to, but I wasn't thinking about it as such. So as soon as you mentioned that, I was like, oh, generally I'm the one who comes up with, I'll be honest here, but I think examples like that is where I really, as a singer, because that also requires me to learn the lyrics and I keeping my limitations in mind. It's really like a group decision at the end of the day, of course.
Yeah, nice. I think when you have a different mindset, I think that helps too. I think it makes you grow as well. Am I right, Hassan?
Yeah, you're right, Jalal. And I think what's important to note is that the integrity and the quality of the piece we produce is at the core foundation, right? So it's not, when we come up with songs or projects, it's not for the views, to be honest with you. And it's not for, will we get traction? Will we not get traction? Will this platform pick it up? Will they not pick it up? It always starts from, we want to make quality music that people can connect with and make a bond with. And when you have, and we believe when you have that thought process, it's bound to be successful. And that's at the foundation of our ideas.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe I can like check with Irfan's brain a little bit. Irfan, when you're or when like your band is playing in front of a live audience, and when you start playing, I think you have to learn from the audience, where their mindset is going. You have to read their minds, their eyes. That's what you do.
Yeah, of course. I think that's, and being someone who really enjoys slower mehfil style, these type of songs that I'm doing today, I think one of my biggest fears going in front of the audience is, what's their mood? What if we start with something slow, would they take it? Would they be bored? And it really, again, depends on the mood of the audience. And just to cater to that, we try our best to keep a variety of songs in our shows. So we might mix it up with something slow and then some Bollywood songs. So for instance, last year, Moiz and Hassan recommended that I do a Junoon, if you know that, like the band from Pakistan, the rock band. I never imagined myself singing a Junoon song, because that's that I just never thought I could do it. But I think that was a good challenge for me. They pushed me to do it, and that was a song that the audience enjoyed a lot. And I think that was a surprise for me in so many different ways. That taking up challenges since then has been like one of the things that we do as a band. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I'm going to play one of the songs through from YouTube. Is that okay? Rather than you can
please.
Take a little bit of rest. How's this sound? Yeah. So you can take a little bit of rest as well. Let me just play one of the songs from their YouTube channel. Is more okay, how is this song? Gazab Ka. I think this is my favorite. There we go. Gazab Ka, is it?
I think that you played that at the start.
Gazab Ka is the same as
Okay.
Jalal, I can send you a link to a song right now if that's
sure. So I'll play the Is More say, but then we can send me the link for the other one. Okay, so I'll play this one for now. It's More Pe Aate Hain. Here we go.
Yeah, that's Hassan and I performing. Yeah.
Okay.
इस मोड़ से जाते हैं कुछ सुस्त कदम रसते कुछ तेज कदम राहें इस मोड़ से जाते हैं कुछ सुस्त कदम रसते कुछ तेज कदम राहें इस मोड़ से जाते हैं पत्थर की हवेली को शीशे के घरोंदों में तिनकों के नशे मन तक इस मोड़ से जाते हैं इस मोड़ से जाते हैं आंधी की तरह उड़कर एक राह गुजरती है शर्माती हुई कोई कदमों से उतरती है इन रेशमी राहों में एक राह तो वो होगी तुम तक जो पहुंचती है इस मोड़ से जाती है इस मोड़ से जाते हैं कुछ सुस्त कदम रसते कुछ तेज कदम राहें इस मोड़ से जाते हैं
Wow, beautiful, yeah, mashallah. So Irfan, of course, all of your songs kind of you divide in 3 screens or 4 screens, and you think about the new ideas, new backgrounds. So who's the technical? Excuse me. Who's the technical guy? Like, is there any, or you guys do everything?
We do everything. It's all in-house. So from video recording to sound mixing to editing, everything we do together. I started it out last year when we started going virtual. And since then, of course, Hassan has also picked it up, and he is also editing a lot of the videos. But at this point, all three of us, at least Hassan and I think feel confident to do video editing on the sound side. Moiz and I also like do a lot of the mixing stuff. So, you know, like, I think it's a collaborative effort on the band, on part of the band. And we all feel, at least at this point, comfortable enough to put, you know, decent, semi-decent quality content out there. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I think, you know, because I've noticed this thing in few of my friends in Indian Idol, so they do the same thing. They have their own studio now. They do their own production and mixing everything. Hassan, why is that? Why suddenly everything changed now? Why is that?
Yeah, I think technology has a big part to play in it, because before, back in the day, I think you had to find a studio and equipment was so expensive. You had to take yourself to a studio to record and wait for the end product. I think now what's happened is all the pieces in production have been separated, and you can take those pieces and bring it to you. So if I wanted to start, you know, I have a small studio, and Irfan has a studio and a setup, Moiz has the same. So now what we can do is bring in a mic, you know, bring in a DAW device, right? Bring in all the technical stuff that we need, set it up, and they all can come together. And there's not a really high learning curve, Jalal bhai. So if there's someone out there who's been thinking about this or has been wanting to dabble with an idea of being a musician, they can start, and it does not take a lot of investment either. Time-wise investment is definitely there, but it's not a monetary investment is what I mean to say.
Yeah. So you think did you learn on the YouTube videos? Like, how did you learn?
Yeah, I'm a self-taught musician, so I have not gone to school or have taken any professional classes. I just, you know, went to Guitar Center, grabbed a guitar, grabbed a capo and a couple of picks for a few $100s, and I brought them home. And then YouTube is a great resource. It has a lot of available content on there where if you put your mind to it, I don't think you would need anything else to just get you started. Of course, if you really want to be a professional, there are avenues and musicians that can teach you. But I think as a launch pad, online content is the way to go, and everything's available for you to access.
Yeah, nice. Irfan, to ho jaye gaane ek do ho jaye line mein back to back if it's possible. Maybe one of the songs from Gilgit or Hunza. I think it'll be nice.
Sure. I can try doing a song from Gilgit-Baltistan. Let's see.
Sure. So there are so many people are watching, and I'm just going to name a few of them, including Zora, Sonia, Gulzar, Artist, Yasmin, Nargis, Hussein, Farida, Nazim, Karim Gilani, of course, I just said, Zara, Oranti, Zubeda, and go ahead.
No, I'm so glad that people are actually watching us and enjoying the show. This is, of course, for folks who know the language, and even if you don't know the language, I'm sure you will enjoy the tune of it. Yeah.
Tanule orte kagazai sane genne te atriye malaikanes mohabbatai sane genne yey te tanule orte kagazai sane genne te chamule malaikanes mohabbatai sane genne te khayali mishti yaadatai sane genne Ante khayali mishti yaadatai sane genne te atriye baze dimna getche atri kotena te chumuyo e churui kalbat ve sane genne ye ya khuda malok mare magunagaran Fajago chuma bezaranus Miro kiyo desmatlemnush bekararanus Neshai lunatarik ajatne puri dili Aakhiri safar tujuli ko kidte tayaranus Asman tare swart tujhe ne geet saliya tare ne geete desiya tarene dadun meyo ne gadayare ne tone yades tumshrare
खुशी दुनिया तेरा बशलो यार गुमान खुशी दुनिया तेरा अबशलो यार गुमान जी सच से दवा संबा अबशलो का गुमान जी सच से दवा संबा अबशलो का बेवफा दुनिया तुलो वदमी कदर पी बेवफा दुनिया तुलो वदमी कदर पी यार मदीदारी गने बुटनर माना मनम जी सच से दवा संबा बशो यार गुमा ला 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 La 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 la
Beautiful, beautiful, mashallah, Irfan, kya baat hai. Irfan, there is a message from our good friend Riz Jadam ji. If you can read it, we are truly blessed with such wonderful Tamil artists across the globe, and we have been entertaining Jamal, such an inspirational band, Fitoor. Wow. Thank you so much,
Riz. Yeah, he has been so supportive too through his platform as well. So I want to give a shout out to him. And you all, yes, like folks from Canada have been really supportive to us. So I want to
yeah, Irfan, when we did our registration for the Future Superstar, so we had 3 registration from Hunza.
Wow.
And I talked to one of the girl, so she sent me an English song, as an audition. So I sent her a message. I said, do you have any Indian Bollywood or any even Hunza song, something? So we just want to kind of make our mind, like for the next time if we can get through or not. So I did call her yesterday. I talked to her yesterday. And she said she goes to boarding school in Hunza. And once she goes, so then she won't be able to connect with me after. But when I was talking to her, she's only 14. And mashallah, her English was so good, damn good. And when I was talking to her, she looked more mature, only 14 years old. So maybe you can give us some picture, about Hunza if it's possible.
Sure. Yeah. So it's definitely like one of the highly educated regions in Pakistan. So if you hear if you see some kid being able to speak English or even being able to communicate in a way that sounds a bit more mature for their age, I think that's very common for the area. So
wow.
that definitely does not surprise me. But yeah, of course, this is Hunza is a beautiful valley in the north of Pakistan. That's where my parents are from too, and a lot of us grew up either going there or grew up in that area as well, and and I think having that background, having more modest, humble beginnings in an area like that, but also having access to education with some of the institutions that that are part of the Al Khan Development Network, for example, have given us opportunities that have allowed us to go a step further than just simply being complacent with what we have. So I think it's being from that area and having those experiences has allowed me to express my music and express other things that I do professionally in a way that wouldn't have been possible if it weren't for that background. I mean, I can go on and on about it, but basically I feel fortunate to have that background, really. And then of course there's so much to talk about, but yeah.
No, because I think the northern Pakistan, they have about 99% of literacy rate, and I think it's a big part is the AKDN, because when Sultan Shah formed the Diamond Jubilee School that time, when he put his Diamond Jubilee fund to the school, to build some schools in the northern Pakistan, and now we see the result now. I was very surprised when
Yeah, I just want to also say that while the education is high in the region, there are also some social and political issues that the community faces. And sometimes like the positive aspect of the region shadows, some of the challenges that the community has to face. So while I really appreciate people who are not from the region and outsiders, really appreciating the work that the community has done, and also, of course, the role of the institutions in that, I also want to acknowledge that the community does face a lot of challenges till this day.
Of course.
And want to appreciate the resilience that they have shown. Yeah.
Yeah, true. And Hassan, a year, 2 years ago now, we celebrated the Diamond Jubilee of our His Highness. How was your experience as a musician? I'm sure you were performing like all over, or like again and again everywhere in like, all the Jamaat Khanas. You're mute. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. So I think at that time I was just coming up, as a musician. I was getting on the scene, right? But I think that was a motivation, because at that time the music scene was building up, and we had seen a lot of musicians perform, submit their pieces to the Smiley.USA. So that was a motivating year for me too, as well, where I wanted to see myself, maybe the next 5 years, I could be one of those musicians with a band like Fitoor, be able to perform and share moments as well.
Inshallah, yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah. So Irfan, I think maybe if you can put it together 2-3 songs in a row, is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, as a medley, I think it'll be nice.
Okay, I'll try to do that.
Yeah, sure. And for our ghazal lovers, next Saturday, we're going to have one of the ghazal sensational singer from India, Tausif Akhtar. He is a student of Jagjit Saab.
Wow.
So because I can see one of the requests for the Jagjit Saab ghazal. But make sure join us next Saturday to 3 o'clock Calgary time, 5 o'clock Eastern. We're going to have a Shagir, or student of Jagjit Singh Saab. So it's going to be lots of fun. He does shows all over the world, UK, India, of course, like in Canada as well. So he'll be coming on the show next Saturday. So hopefully we'll release a lot of Jagjit Saab next Saturday for sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, like as you're talking about Jagjit, maybe I can do one of the songs and then see if I can do metal. होठों से छू लो तुम, मेरा गीत अमर कर दो, बन जाओ मीत मेरी प्रीत अमर कर दो, ना उम्र की सीमा हो, ना जन्म का हो बंधन, जब प्यार करे कोई तो देखे केवल मन, नई रीत चला कर तुम, ये रीत अमर कर दो, ये रीत अमर कर दो, मेरा गीत अमर कर दो। तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो, हाँ तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो, क्या गम है जिसको छुपा रहे हो, तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो, आंखों में नमी हंसी लबों पर, आंखों में नमी हंसी लबों पर, क्या हाल है क्या दिखा रहे हो, क्या गम है जिसको छुपा रहे हो,
कभी मेरे दिल में ख्याल आता है, कभी कभी मेरे दिल में ख्याल आता है कि जैसे तुझको बनाया गया है मेरे लिए। तू अब से पहले सितारों में बस रही थी कहीं, तुझे ज़मीं पे बुलाया गया है मेरे लिए। सागर किनारे दिल ये पुकारे, तू जो नहीं तो मेरा कोई नहीं है हो। सागर किनारे चाहते नज़ारे, जागे नज़ारे, जागी फज़ाएं, जब प्यार जागा जागी हवाएं। पल भर को दिल की दुनिया सोई नहीं है। सागर किनारे तुमसे मिलके ऐसा लगा, तुमसे मिलके अरमा हुए पूरे दिल के। तुमसे मिलके ऐसा लगा, तुमसे मिलके अरमा हुए पूरे दिल के। ऐ मेरी जाने वफा, तेरी मेरी मेरी तेरी एक जान है। साथ तेरे रहेंगे सदा, तुमसे न होंगे जुदा।
That was totally random, by the way.
Oh, I think it was awesome, yeah. Because there were a few songs, like it's been a while since I heard that, like Kabhi Kabhi, and this one here, the one just did the last one, beautiful, yeah.
Thank
I love this kind of evening, this kind of shows. You just pick up the guitar and just go with the flow. I think I love it. I love it.
Thank
So,
you.
Hassan bhai, like as a band or as a musician, individual, what do you think? Like, what's your future now? What are you thinking for next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I think in the small term goals, we'll continue making music virtually, and we'll present our music wherever the opportunity exists. But I think, and Irfan, would love to chime in also, is that we would ideally want to get back to normalcy at some point, where the idea, I think the one common thing about all three band members is that we love playing live. So, inshallah, we get back to normalcy and we can pick up where we left off, where we can actually play live for different venues and different events.
Yes. Irfan?
I totally agree with that. I think the connection you feel to the audience as you're doing it live, virtual platforms such as this one are excellent. I think they are filling in that void. But I also think I miss that virtual and and that's the reason why I sometimes go back to the Facebook page, look at the comments to see what folks are saying. Like that interaction with the crowd as an artist is so important to see how they're feeling. But I think that having said that, in terms of the vision for the band, I think we are really trying to increase our reach at this point. But then, of course, that's not the only goal. We want to do that with improvement in our quality. So I think over time, we want, like, the next stage really is to further establish ourselves as a band and further strengthen our virtual partnership, and then go and like take one step at a time and see what happens.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And there is a comment here, Irfan, for you. I don't know. I'm just getting surprised by this message. Irfan is a very good taekwondo player. What? Sayyid Zafar Ali Shah.
Yeah, I think it's funny because yeah, he's a friend of mine, and
Uh,
he is right. So I grew up doing taekwondo, and then I'm a
oh,
junior black belt there, and then I think both of us were like good partners. Like we would like do fights, and like we do all kinds of things together. It's been a while, but yeah, he's right, and thank you so much, Zafar, for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
okay. Where's Zafar? Where does he live? Is he in Pakistan or here,
I
US?
think he's in Pakistan, but I know that he has a job that requires him to travel to different countries. I
Okay,
don't know
okay,
with
okay.
COVID how much he's able to do that, but last time we spoke, like I think he's an engineer by profession. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And I think there was, I think we have one of the common friend, Imam Yarbe. He lives in Calgary. Do you know him?
Yes, he's my uncle. Yes, he's my mom's cousin. Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
he's my cousin. Yeah, he's not my uncle.
wow, wow, small world, isn't it? Eh?
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Mamu. I hope you're doing well if you're watching it.
Yeah, because he shared our post and everything. So I was wondering, what's the like the relation?
No,
So, and just a couple of more questions before before we finish our show. Nowadays you see like Smiley Sounds. They're doing a lot of promotion, production now. Like you guys are part of this, like especially the Smiley TV, like all the Kushadi shows goes on. I think this is a great. So I think it's great for all the artists, around the world. Either you are junior or senior, or the one who just started now. I think it's great to kind of come like together or like at a one platform. So that's what I want to, if you want to make some comment on it, what do you think?
Yeah, Jalal, but as you mentioned, we're very fortunate enough that Smiley Sounds have picked up one of our songs, Badlegi, which is one of my favorite original songs that's written by Irfan Sheen. So, so with that being said, once again, Smiley Sounds is, I think, a platform that we should value and cherish because that's not a competition platform. It's not a
Yeah,
hierarchy platform. It's a platform that, vets good music and then, it spotlights quality content. So I think it's very
yeah,
critical that could be set as a high bar and a milestone that make music that something like Smiley Sounds can pick up and display because that platform is something we really have close to our hearts.
yeah, true, true. And Irfan, like, do you prefer original song or you like to do the cover song most? More.
I think I definitely prefer original music because I think that's an area that really shows how you're growing as a musician and
Exactly.
allows you to
Yeah,
express creativity in a way that covers don't. But then I also don't want to be too rigid
yeah,
with just like trying to do originals because I think for us as a band, I think I want also to be humble in the sense that we are starting out and to cater to different audiences we'll have to do some covers with some originals. We'll have to do a mix of both before we are at a stage where we can
yeah.
be recognized for original music. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think our good friend Sam or Samir Remco, Sam Rang, he's watching from Calgary as well now. So thank you, Sam. So I think that was it for today. Unless you have, like, we're going to listen to one more song from him, Irfan. Unless you want to say something before we go to the last song, Hassan.
No, I think it's been a pleasure being here, Jalal Bhai. So I want to thank you and the entire team for having us, and just want to appreciate this event because I think it's a great platform for musicians like us to come on and showcase. I want to commend you and the team for thriving and keeping this up and alive. So we really thank you for that.
No, no, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Irfan.
I would say the same, and I would echo Hassan's sentiments too. I think it's been it's been such a nice casual platform. I was honestly very nervous before coming on it, but I must say that you have been a really great host, and the audience has been great. I was able to do some requests, so overall, it's been a great experience. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I love this kind of thing, kind of very casual. Like like I said, you just pick up the like guitar and just go with the flow. That's what I prefer. I think that's where the original, or you can say the honest singer comes in play because now then you have to pick up on the go. And before the one we just talked about the original song and the cover song. I think when you do a cover song, you kind of disappear in a rush or in a kind of big, you can say, community. But when you do original song, that becomes your label. Oh, this is from Fitoor, just Badlegi, because we played the earlier on my show as well. Beautiful song. That's what actually that was my first time to know about the Fitoor. No, it was a beautiful song. I think the original song is way to go, but the cover song, I think that's important as well. Just to spread or just go with the word out and people get to know you. I think very important.
I think just like before we sign off, just another couple of words about the original music. In our original music, we try to incorporate some social messages as possible as well. That's been our effort so far, and we want to keep it serious, but also focus on the composition and the musical part of it as well. So that's challenging, and that's a huge responsibility to do as a band as well. But that's really been our struggle so far, as musicians.
And the Fatty Fab from Portugal, he's watching as well. Fatty, one of our good friends and singer. I think you might know him.
Yes, well. I know all of them, and it's just so nice to see all of you on this call, and thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Yeah.
So Irfan, हो जाए जाते जाते एक और गाना और medley if you can.
I can, yeah. Maybe I can end with like a Qawwali style thing, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Ali Imam Manastum Manam Ghulam Ali 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 हजार बार गिरामी हजार बार अली 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 दम हम दम अली अली दम हम दम अली दम हम दम अली अली दम हम दम अली शाह शरीयतम अली पीरे तरीकतम अली दम हम दम अली अली शाह शरीयतम अली पीरे तरीकतम अली दम हम दम अली अली मौला दम हम दम अली अली दम हम दम मौला हो लाल मेरी पत रखियो बला झूले लाल ओ लाल मेरी हो लाल मेरी पत रखियो बला झूले लाल सिंधड़ी दा सैवण दा सखी शाहबाज कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा पहला नंबर हुसैनी लाल कलंदर अली दम दम दे अंदर ओ लाल मेरी हाय लाल मेरी हिंद सिंध पीरा तेरी नौबत बाजे हो हिंद सिंध पीरा तेरी नौबत बाजे लाल बजे घड़ी आल बला झूले लाल सिंधड़ी दा सैवण दा सखी शाहबाज कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा पहला नंबर हुसैनी लाल कलंदर अली दम दम दे अंदर हो लाल मेरी हाय लाल मेरी चार चराग तेरे बलण हमेशा हो चार चराग तेरे बलण हमेशा पंजवा में बालण आया बला झूले लाल सुंदड़ी दा सैवण दा सखी शहबाज कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा पहला नंबर हुसैनी लाल कलंदर अली दम दम दे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा पहला नंबर हुसैनी लाल कलंदर अली दम दम दे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर अली दा पहला नंबर हुसैनी लाल कलंदर अली दम दम दे अंदर हो लाल मेरी.
Why is he yelling?
Beautiful, Irfan. I think you kept the best for the last, eh?
I think so. I mean, I guess so, yeah.
Okay, I just want to put some comments here because there are some few comments came just about this one here. And Sony, hello Sony, Alimada, Gulshan, thank you so much. Munira, Sophia, then of course Yasmin Daya, must, yes, Gulshan Mahmood as well. So, Irfan, like, what's your YouTube ID, Facebook page ID, so people can follow you? You're on mute.
Sorry, it's Fitoor Band. So on Instagram, on Facebook, if they look up at FITOORBAND, I'll also post it on the actual post on Facebook. But that's our channel, and wherever you look up, you'll find us. Yeah.
Yes. So before we finish, did you enjoy today, Hassan? Was it fun? Was it okay?
Yeah, it was a blast. It was a blast. As Irfan mentioned, you're an amazing host, amazing platform, and the audience has been great. We would love to do this again. Thank you for having us.
Yes, inshallah, yeah. And if you have any new song coming, Irfan, Hassan, and Moiz will watch later. So yeah, let us know if you want to release a song on the show here. We can do that too. So I think it'll be an honor for me to do it. But yeah, keep rocking and keep going, man. I think you guys, we need you guys as much we can, and do your best. And I think this coming Wednesday, you guys will be busy. Am I right? Are you guys going to Washington?
What's happening on Wednesday again? Sorry.
President Joe Biden.
The inauguration.
Oh my God! Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. I think more in dates than days. So yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah, of course. I think even my company has allowed us to take some time off on that day. So
is that right?
we will take it easy. Yeah.
All right. So guys, like this one was live on the Facebook, but I will edit. Then I'll post on YouTube as well. Then I'll share with you guys. So you can share with your friends and family. The one couldn't join us like here. So I think it'll be fun. And guys, yeah, so the one who are watching, you can subscribe their channel. It's called the Fitoor Band on YouTube, same as on Facebook. And you can subscribe my channel as well. It's called Jalal, same as page Koffee with Jalal as well. So thank you guys. It was fun, and all the best to you and your family. Stay safe and healthy, and inshallah we'll do it soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Jalal.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Future
You're welcome, my friend.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Yeah, bye.
Bye.
So guys, ये थे band Fitoor band. Make sure subscribe them on YouTube and Facebook, and you can subscribe my channel as well, Jalal Lara, and my Koffee with Jalal page on Facebook. And I'm going to be back in about 3.5 hours. We're going to have 8 o'clock Calgary time, 8 p.m. and 10 o'clock Eastern. We're going to have a Faisal Amlani and Adnan Khoja. I think Faisal Amlani, he's in Melbourne, Australia, and Adnan Khoja, he is in Houston, because I think they released 2 of their new songs over the holidays. So we're gonna talk to them about the songs, and of course there's gonna be some live music as well. So before I go, I'm gonna play one of my promo as well. There we go.
Subscribe to our official YouTube channel and stay updated.
There you go. So make sure to subscribe my channel, and hopefully if I post anything, you'll be the first one to know. And that's it. So inshallah, we'll see you tonight, like in 3.5 hours. Until then, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, sharing, liking, and for all the comments. अपना बहुत ज़्यादा ख्याल रखेगा, and we will inshallah. A big still the pandemic is still going on, so make sure be safe and just listen to like health guidelines in your area wherever you live, and so inshallah we can beat this coronavirus as soon as possible. We'll see you very soon. Thank you so much. Yali Khuda Hafiz.